On this episode, Breathe, Frame, Survive, a BJJ Beginner Mantra, we'll break down each element, starting with the often overlooked importance of breathing, especially when you're under pressure. Then we'll dive into the fundamental concept of framing and how it can be your lifeline when you're stuck in a bad position. Finally, we'll talk about the most crucial ingredient of all, survival. Because in BJJ, just showing up and embracing the journey is half the battle. But first, yeah, that's me. Kevin Pennell getting tapped again. Welcome to the Jiu-Jitsu Podcast, the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu show that explores the real challenges and rewards of the gentle art. I'm 50 years old, a blue belt, and I've been choked, twisted, and humbled more times than I can remember, but I keep coming back. Why? Because Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is more than just a martial art. It's a constant process of growth. So clip your fingernails, brush your teeth, tie that belt, and let's roll into this episode. Breathing. The key is to remember that you can breathe. This seems impossible sometimes when your muscles are screaming, your lungs are burning and feel empty, and your mind is racing. If you're new, feel free to tap. As you train more, you'll build more resilience. You'll become more comfortable with the uncomfortable because, trust me, if you're not used to this, everything is uncomfortable. You're out of balance. People are better than you. You're maybe not quite aggressive enough. There's a whole bunch of things, and that's fine. A bonus expectation for the new BJJ player is there are no expectations for you. No one expects you to, quote, beat them. No one expects you to really know what you're doing, and that's fine. And the positive thing about the jiu-jitsu environment, should you find a good school, is that people will help you. If people aren't helping you, that's not the school for you. Everyone gets a beating, everyone gets exhausted, and everybody taps hundreds of times. And that's okay. Keep breathing. To help on the mats, you need to put some time in off the mats as well to learn proper breathing techniques and manage stress. And for me, I've been practicing the Wim Hof method for a year consistently, a little bit longer than that total, and it helps a lot. The deep breaths to me open my lungs, right? The breath holds serve as an active mindfulness practice, and they help me push my mental limits, especially when you start to run out of air. In addition to that breath work, which is really a seated breath work, running, doing road work, sprints, high intensity interval training, Tabata style. That's those like 10 seconds all out, 20 seconds or 20 seconds all out, 10 seconds rest. They do help build BJJ cardio. Nothing replaces being on the mats, but this is very helpful. I was out for 6 months last year after an illness and death in my family. And I credit the workouts that I did, the consistent exercise outside of jiu-jitsu, with helping me get back. And while my heart and lungs and muscles were mostly BJJ ready, there's still a bit of an adjustment period with timing. But I have no doubt if I wouldn't have kept up on that breath work, on doing the high intensity stuff, then I would have been behind the curve, getting back in there, let's say. The next thing is framing. So framing is a concept you should research before you start, and a foundational tactic you should use and will use throughout your BJJ training time. Right? Framing means you're going to use your arms and legs to create a frame. The best one's kind of triangular between you and your opponent. So let's do a visualization. You're in side control. So this is one of the standard moves you should research and look at, which means your opponent is laying chest to chest on you, kind of cradling your head and your legs, let's say, and they're perpendicular to you. So what you want to do, because they're crushing you, is get one arm under their neck and one arm kind of in their hip groin area. As you train more, you'll learn options from here, escapes, sweeps, just preventing chokes and things from there. But that's the basis of it. You've got those. Or if they're coming at you and you're already on the ground, you can put your legs up, your knees in between you. And again, this is basic. As you use some of the resources that I shared in the previous episode, you'll see what those positions mean. And as you train more and learn those options, you'll understand how to use the frames to make space to then get away. So here's a concept. Remember that frames give you space. With space, you can move away, and you can get more breath. So think about that. And then there's surviving, right? That means keep showing up. To still be training years later, when most of the other white belts have quit, you're surviving. To develop your BJJ until your belt changes color, you're surviving and you're starting to thrive a little bit. To keep going. That's the concept, right? While rolling survival means defense, meaning people are trying to tap you out or choke you to get you to tap. Tap is the overall goal, right? Whether it's through a choke or joint manipulation or uncomfortable. Learning to defend what's coming at you helps you survive, right? If you're caught, knowing how to get to a better position is surviving. And in training, tapping is surviving, right? Because I'm not going to hold my arm and let you break it just because of my ego, or I shouldn't, and then I have to go work my job or whatever. That's silly. So survive by tapping early. On the streets, though, managing distance and avoiding the fight is surviving. And here's a concept to remember. Survival comes 1 minute at a time, one drill at a time, one roll at a time, one class at a time, and so on. And that's the power that a lot of people see in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is they don't focus on their life outside of it. It's you and your training partner. You're learning the skills. You're trying to defend against their skills. And that's what your focus is. And sometimes it's hard to keep the other world out, but just go one at a time, one focus at a time. To me, breathe, frame, survive is a good mantra for folks that are just starting Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, right? It's hard to remember to breathe sometimes. You won't know how to frame properly for a while, or they'll be easy to get around. But you can survive by going to the intro class, signing up, continuing to show up, being a good training partner, and then having an open mind and a low or no ego. For more, go to peopleprocessprogress.com. Follow me on X and Instagram at PannellKG, PANNELLKG. And then go to the Pannell 5 Fitness Club YouTube channel where I share fitness 15 seconds at a time. I do cold plunging because you got to put it in the video, right? And also I share after I come out of my jiu-jitsu classes, usually at 7 in the mornings, what I learned, my after action report, and some quick tips in about 15 to 20 seconds. So check that out. In the meantime, remember, keep breathing, start framing, and keep surviving. Godspeed, y'all.